So far it seems that people are beginning to see through the Hantavirus, so-called, which in Hebrew is a colloquial term that means nonsense, a lie, a scam, or something completely fake. It's often used informally as an equivalent of that. It's bullshit or a load of garbage.
Oops. Oops. Oh dear, he's not wearing his PPI. Oh dear. Yep. Garbage.
Be concerned about Ebola. I'm concerned about everything, but certainly am. I think that it's been confined right now to Africa, and but it's something that has had a breakout. I could ask Bobby or Oz to say a couple of words about it if you'd like.
Rest assured, if they are going to perpetrate this Ebola, you're only going to see the early signs, the fever, the headache. I mean, these can be passed off, and people have got the cold or the flu, which is toxins within you. There will be no, or they'll fabricate pictures of the bleeding out the eyes and all these sorts of things if they were going to pull this. Aside to this, viruses, when they claim they've isolated viruses, which they don't, they basically make a gunk. There's cow part, there's parts of cows, they boil it, they put all sorts of gunk, they basically make a gunk and then they pull something out of it and say, well, this is a virus, and the establishment says, yes it is. The other way they do it is with a computer program, and there is no biological matter involved in it, it's just a computer program that says, yes, this is a so-called virus. Dr. Tedros, or so-called doctor, apparently he was wanted in terrorist charges many years ago before he became head of the World Health Organization private corporation. Apparently he took the step to declare that it's an emergency before the emergency committee had even met, so he's just doing that off his own back like he did in 2020. That's Dr. Tedros and his hot pants. What follows, this is Dr. Carrie Mullis, the Nobel Peace Prize winner who created the PCR test, and it wasn't a diagnostic tool. Talking about why it shouldn't be used for such things. He was probably wiped out in 2019, else he would have been calling out the fraud that was perpetrated in 2020, and also something that people should maybe keep a hold of this video, because they are going to do something with masks, etc. once again, no doubt. How dangerous masks actually are.
This virus in you at all, and with PCR, if you do it well, you can find almost anything in anybody. It starts making you believe in the sort of Buddhist notion that everything is contained in everything else, right? I mean, because if you can amplify one single molecule up to something that you can really measure, which PCR can do, then there's just very few molecules that you don't have at least one single one of them in your body, okay? So that could be thought of as a misuse of it, just to claim that it's meaningful. But HIV, and what's been brought out here by Philpott and Isai already, the measurement for it is not exact at all. It's not as good as our measurement for things like apples. An apple is an apple. You can get something that's kind of like, if you got enough things that look kind of like an apple and you stick them all together, you might think it's an apple. But and HIV is like that. Those tests are all based on things that are invisible, and the results are inferred in a sense. PCR is separate from that. It's just a process that's used to make a whole lot of something out of something. That's what
also,
it is. But it's not. It doesn't tell you that you're sick, and it doesn't tell you that the thing you ended up with really was going to hurt you or anything like that. That's what it's not.
So even if you believe in HIV, it can't tell the difference between virus particles or active live virus. I mean, there's a lot of questions involved in this.
Like as he did, right? Underneath and try and keep it. That feels pretty tight right there, right? Okay, so you can just breathe naturally. Let's just see what happens. Okay. All right, so we're at 1,367. We've already just passed 2. So now we're in the place where he can be having headaches. He can be, we're at 3,786. Look at this, we just passed 5,000. Now we're at the toxic level. Right now we can be doing this 7,000 inside this mask with the CO2, 8,000 parts per million. this thing's gone off the Richter scale, folks. It can't even register how high the CO2 levels are inside. And look how many